Today being the 22nd of July 2026, where the hearing for the human rights activist and also presidential candidate Sowore was adjourned to. In the court today, the DSS personnel in the person of Umen Davis was called to testify. And in his testimony, he confirmed that he only wrote one letter despite having multiple letters in his name and signature, but he could only confirm one. And one of the documents presented by the witness of Sowore was rejected by the judge. And so a subpoena was pleaded by the counsel of the defendant to be given to the DG of the DSS. And so for that reason, an adjournment was made by the judge to be held next on the 28th, 2026 of July. And at the court today, so many social media influencers, celebrity were at the court to support Sowore today in court, in the person of Peter Randy, Mama P, Floud Boy, Jogolo, who is also a human rights activist, and many others. The legal hearing involving human rights activist and presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore was held today at the Federal High Court. The proceeding commenced with the arrival of the presiding judge. The prosecution team, led by senior advocate A.T. Kende, announced its appearance and introduced member of the press counsel to the defendant. Barrister Olumide also introduced the legal team representing the defendant. During the proceeding, a witness subpoenaed by the defense, Mr. Umen Davis, Principal Officer of General Service, was called to testify. Under cross-examination, Mr. Davis told the court that all action he carried out were performed in his official capacity and on the directive of the Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS. During his testimony, several letters bearing Mr. Davis' name and signature were presented to him during cross-examination. However, he denied authoring most of the documents, maintaining he wrote only one letter dated July 7. He told the court that he was not responsible for the other letters presented as evidence. Mr. Davis attempted to testify on behalf of a colleague, Mr. B. Bangboye, who had also been served with a subpoena. However, the defense objected to the arrangement. Following argument from both parties, the presiding judge upheld the objection, ruling that Mr. Bangboye must appear in court personally to give his testimony. Counsel to the defendant, Barrister Olumide, subsequently applied for a subpoena to be issued to the Director General of the DSS. He argued that the witness who testified was unable to provide satisfactory answer to several key questions. According to the defense counsel,
I want to check something.
Thank you very much, everyone, our comrades, colleagues, the press, and our great lawyers. As you are aware, our lead lawyer has opted not to address the press over this matter because that's his own style of litigation. And he has also advised us to ask you to report what you see. Because the last hearing, he was in the UK and they were giving information that was not correct. That we are going to close Sowore's case. Our lawyer has run away. The lawyer came back today. And what I can tell you, which is like an expo, is that we have a problem in this country. We found out that the DSS forged letters on behalf of their staff. One of their staff stood in the witness box, a principal officer, General Services, Umen Davis, said before the Federal High Court judge that the letter that was presented in his name, he never authored it.
Unsigned signature.
So they presented it to him 3 or 4 different times. He said, I never wrote this letter. Forgery of the highest order is why I'm being presented for trial over forged documents. But what we know and what the judge has advised us, or well, what our attorneys have advised the judge is that the DG himself of DSS was be presented since Uwem said he doesn't even know anything. He just asked him to write the letter. And they read to him a portion of the letter that says, Tinubu supporters are going to be angry because I called him a criminal. They asked him, do you know his supporters? He said no. Are you a supporter? He said no. Is the DG a supporter of? He said no. This is what we have spent almost a year just suffering over. I have not suffered because all these things are blessing in a disguise. Because we have a country to change. And in changing the country, certain things must happen. Certain people must play some roles. Including, I want to introduce our friends here. This is Haruna Gololo. Yes. He was in prison with me because he told the truth about the Senate president. I was sent to prison because I told the truth about the president. And Peter and Mama P, they are here. They were sent to DSS because, yes, I apologize, because they claimed that they spent their own money in Enugu at Toscana Club, where I'm hoping to go to. The only problem is that I don't have money to give anybody. But you know, when you see a state become very frivolous, it tells one thing and one thing alone: it's about to collapse. Any regime that you see that start picking kulikuli, agbado, and akara as their economic policy, you know that regime is on the way out, and we owe them a duty to get them out of our way so that this country can breathe, so that the poor can breathe, so that human rights can have a place in our life, so that our economy will not be operating 3 fake budgets at the same time. Gololo is feared because he will not only speak in English, he speaks in Hausa. They dread him. And so we are happy, and I keep saying it, I am always the happiest person that I'm privileged to be able to speak truth to power and to be punished for doing it so that this country can have a fresh lease of life. So our case is adjourned till Tuesday next week.
We are here.
So we will be here, and we implore Nigerians to keep coming to court, not to be afraid. One thing was also established today in court, that the DSS is employed by Nigerian people.
Yes.
It is not the private security organization of anybody.
Or DG for secretariat.
So it's not the DG of DSS is not the megad of the president. Yes. But they don't get that memo yet. It's our duty in what we do to let that sink in for all these guys who think that there's no tomorrow. We will remind them that our today is more important than the tomorrow they want to hijack. We will free ourselves today and we'll free ourselves for tomorrow and for the future. So that is our report from the courtroom. We implore the press, because you are part of this reporting. I don't need to remind you. I know that there's one of you who writes reports from the DSS and puts it out. Report what is accurate. If you don't, it doesn't hurt us because we are capable of reporting ourselves. Our report will get out there regardless of how you mangle it. But we don't have any problem with you. But try to search your conscience, because we know we're also struggling with your bosses who have all been hemmed in by some of these characters who are using our own resources to oppress our people. The end of oppression has come, because only if we tolerate oppression will oppression thrive in our society. Yes. So that is our report to you today, and this is our submission. Thank you everyone for coming, and I will say once again, revolution now! Thank you.
According to the Defense Counsel, requesting the Director General appearance had not been part of the original strategy, but had become necessary in the light of the day's testimony. Another defense witness, Barrister Prince Wayne Chikezie, was also called to testify and presented a document before the court. The prosecution requested that the original copy of the document be produced. However, the court denied the request, with the presiding judge noting concern that the document's integrity may have been compromised while it was in the witness' possession. With additional information still required, the defense applied for an adjournment to enable it prepare and serve a subpoena to the Director General of the DSS. The prosecution opposed the application, arguing that the matter had been designated as an accelerated case requiring daily hearings. After considering submission from both parties, the